What's going on YouTube and cryptocurrency family? My name is Harry and I'm Crypto Vet. Thank you for tuning back in. We're seeing a little bit of green today in the market, so potentially could be having a bounce. However, this could also just be a little bit of a relief rally before further correction. So we're going to go over today a little bit about Bitcoin and is this actually going to hold and we're actually going to move and shoot up from here, or do we have a little bit more hurdles and some resistance to overcome? Same with Ethereum, and then also we're going to look back in time on XRP again, and then also look at XRP now to see where we could be going and what's the next steps. And then just as a bonus, I had one request to just kind of go over DogeCoin one more time, so I'm just going to do a quick look at DogeCoin here at the end. So if you like that, if you like the content, please hit the like, hit the subscribe. It really helps me out. Again, so close to 1,000 subs, so I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at XRP Veterinarian, where I post charts and little updates on what I'm doing as far as my portfolio, and links for Twitch, Discord, and all the other goodies are down below. But let's go ahead and get started here. If we head over to CoinMarketCap, we can see that there is some green here. We've got Bitcoin up 7%, Ethereum 7, BNB 5, 13 on XRP. If we go to the biggest gainers, we got Matic and One going crazy. One of the ones that I'm invested in now is more of a long-term hold, similar to BNB, is the KuCoin token. And it's up about 15%. It took a nasty fall after where I ended up. My average cost is actually at about $14 now. So it's good to see that this is actually coming back to where it is. But again, you don't lose any money unless you sell. And I'm waiting for this to actually pump here in the coming months. As far as the biggest losers, this is what I want to see. This is showing that, sentiment may be changing, however, but Bitcoin can turn around and throw you in a loop really fast. But we're only down about 1% here overall. Now, if we head over to Bitcoin dominance, you guys know that I've been really watching this chart like a hawk, because the second we drop down a little bit lower, this is going to really signify that Bitcoin has lost its hold and altcoins will take off. Now, it doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't still go up. It's just signifying that people are bored with Bitcoin. They're taking their money out of Bitcoin, putting it into the altcoins, and then from there, capitalizing. And after they've capitalized enough, they'll take their money out of altcoins, put it back into Bitcoin, and then this will transfer back over, and we'll see the Bitcoin dominance slowly start to rise back up from there. And I added the VPVR here on the right just to show you that this here is the last hurdle that we have or last support in a sense before dropping down. You can see there's almost no volume here because it didn't stay there very long. But everything in this region has been lots of traded volume. This is where Bitcoin likes to be as far as the dominance goes. So we had our weekly close, and right now trying to decide what's going to happen and if we're going to go down. Now, if we go ahead and head to Bitcoin, we can see we got this beautiful daily candle here. We bounced off the 13 EMA, and we didn't quite make it to the 20 daily EMA or weekly EMA that I was hoping for. And this is the 13 weekly EMA. I did have some questions in the Discord about which moving averages do I use and all that. It purely is just based off of what I've seen in the past and what has shown to have more sentiment in the community as to what actually holds. So like if I pull up just the 100-day simple moving average, not exponential, you can see that it is also right in this region. So this was a very strong place that a lot of people were taking an eye out and looking to see a bounce. Some people use a lot of simple moving averages like the 100, 200 day. I do like the exponential moving averages. The only thing that's different is how that moving average is calculated. And I found more consistency with the 20 daily and 20 weekly, and then I throw the 13 on here to show where in the in-between we might potentially have a bounce if we don't quite make it to the other. And it shows right now that it looks like that is the scenario that played out, which is why I added it to my charts just to go over from here. So I hope that answered some of those questions. If we look down here at the bottom at the MACD, this is the first time that we have actually gone negative on the MACD as far as our lines and divergences here. And you can see that anytime we got down to about negative 1100, negative 1200, we've always had a bounce. And then even now we're showing that we're having this bounce here, and our actual lines here are showing that we could potentially have a cross in the next couple days. Just to kind of show you what that means, if we look over here where we had this cross, you can see we fell down. We found a bottom, looks like we had a little double bottom, got above the 20 daily exponential moving average, and then we started to move up. Got overextended, we came down, when we started to have this leveling off and cross, we continued up, and the same goes to where we are now. But this time we are very, very oversold in a sense. We are all the sellers are exhausted and the buyers are coming back. So this would be a very likely area to have a reversal. The thing that worries me now is if we look up here, we can see this green line here. This is where I was expecting to have a potential catch on Bitcoin. This is where Tesla announced its news. We got above it. This was our all-time high back in January. And you can see how we confirmed it there. We confirmed the support resistance flip here. And then as soon as we came down, we confirmed it right in this area, which has a lot of support. You can see the VPVR on this side. There's a big wave to the outside showing that this is a big place where volume was traded. And you can see above it where the 56 and $57,000 region, lots of volume traded. And this is where I think we're going to have the problem. You can see that in this area, not as much. The wave goes inwards. This was easy for Bitcoin to move in this area, but to get back above this zone is going to be where the trouble comes in. Now, if we kind of zoom in just a little bit more here, I'm going to just go to the 4-hour and then we'll hop back. You can see this VPVR much better. There's not much volume here compared to the $55,000 to $56,000 range, as well as to where we were before at the $49,000 to $50,000 range. Bitcoin looked like it was going to continue the dump to the downside. We had a measured move. I tweeted about this, that this is the move that I was hoping to get us down to this weekly exponential moving average. Bounce from here and shoot up. It wicked down. People bought it up like crazy, faked all the short sellers out, and then it actually came up back to the upside of this pattern and is now getting close to my target, which you can see the target is actually right at the top of this VPVR. So my worry is that this is actually just a relief rally and that we're actually going to round over right here and get rejected by the point of control, the 20 daily exponential moving average, and that we're actually going to come back down. Now the good thing about this is then we get to see is where's everybody at? Did everybody go, oh, this is my buying opportunity, and we can continue going up and just bounce around right here and fill up this trading volume and go to the upside? Or are we going to continue back down and maybe actually fill some of these lower targets that we had? Honestly, I don't know, but there's not enough volume here, in my opinion, to show that we are going to move up to the upside. You know, there's not much volume down here for this amount of price increase. I think this is just, you know, the little bit of people who are trading are just kind of hoping. They're, you know, hitting the hopium bong a little too hard, and they really want this to go up. But the best case scenario is we get rejected here on this 20 daily, we come back down, show that this actually is support and that this just wasn't a, you know, bull trap, and go to the lower values. And we bounce between this 13 and this 20 daily exponential moving average. And, you know, during this time, Bitcoin dominance will drop. We'll actually get that alt season that has the, you know, melt faces type of money. And then after a little bit of consolidating for Bitcoin, Bitcoin will have enough oomph to get back above this. But you can see that we're going to have trouble at the 55,000. We're going to have trouble at the big even of 60. And then we're, of course, going to have trouble at the previous all-time high around 60 to 64,000. But getting above that, then, you know, it's off to the races. But for right now, I am a little bit worried that this is just a little fake out, and we're going to come back down and we're going to stay in this area here. Looking back, you can see this is the 2017 and 2021. I was posting that this was when we bounced off the 20 daily, and you can see the 13 weekly EMA right in the middle, and you can see how that actually acted as support here as well. So there's a reason I threw this on there just in case. But again, I'm still a little bit worried. We do have the 20-day or the daily RSI coming down to 30 and touching it, and that did happen again here, as well as this bounce to the upside. So looking at what happened here in the past, you can see we came up, got rejected on the 20 daily exponential moving average, found support on the 13, and then from there overcame the 20 and started the next pump. So we could be seeing something like that here, but again, I'm sitting on the sidelines. Just kind of waiting to see where things go. I have been accumulating. I had about 5,000 USDT left, and I did buy XRP at 113. I was hoping for lower, had my opportunity at $1. Didn't happen. It flipped the EMA ribbon, so I bought in there. But we're going to go over that here in a minute. So you're never going to time the tops. You're never going to time the bottoms. Your goal is to get closer to the bottom when you buy and closest to the top when you sell. So we're going to keep an eye on Bitcoin and kind of see where it goes from here. For Ethereum, I'm waiting for Ethereum to break its pattern with Bitcoin. I have Bitcoin on the bottom and Ethereum here on the top. And you can see Bitcoin not having the same kind of strength that Ethereum is having. If you look on the weekly Ethereum against Bitcoin, you can see that it confirmed the breakout of this trend line and is now actually bouncing to the upside. And the question is, will we decouple from Bitcoin and actually start doing our own thing? And that's what I'm waiting for here. You can see that Ethereum at the top, Bitcoin at the bottom, they're doing the same thing right now. Here, Bitcoin did its thing sideways and Ethereum broke out and started to go up. But then when Bitcoin fell, Ethereum fell right with it. So it's trying to decouple, but at this time isn't quite doing it. The good thing for Ethereum is it's at the top of its VPVR. It's close to an all-time high. People are bored with Bitcoin, want to make money, saying fuck Bitcoin, and they're going to Ethereum. And you can see that they're at the top here. There's not this clear skies. Well, if we look at Bitcoin down here, it's got a lot of shit to get through, right? It's fuck Bitcoin, but it's got a lot of shit to get through, and it's going to have trouble continuing up. So if we were to potentially just round this guy off, right? Oh, all my other shit showed up. If you round this off, you can see it's going to hit this other volume area and potentially have to come back down to retest this. And then I know a lot of other really, really good analysts like the blockchain backer and things, they're expecting a back test, a double back test all the way down to other support levels. That is very, very possible, right? Lots of things need to be confirmed. If we head back to where Bitcoin was, what chart was it? This one here. This here was my last resort, only because this is where the Tesla news pumped us up, and this was the back test that occurred there. So once we fall through this, it is very likely that we could have a back test all the way down to around the 30K area, because this would be that drop down to see, you know, what's the likelihood, like where are people actually going to buy this guy at, right? So right now, we just don't really know what is going to happen. If we head over to XRP, I have XRP here on the daily, and you can see we had our 1 pump, 2 pump, and then the third one I was expecting to be the biggest move. If you're watching me live on Twitch, I did actually sell about 50% of my XRP expecting a drop. However, I only bought back in at $1.51-ish. From $1.96, not all the way down, because I thought this pump would actually be a lot bigger. But again, you're not going to time the tops, you're not going to time the bottoms. I was able to make a good chunk, you know, whatever 40-cent difference per XRP on $20,000 or $30,000 worth of XRP, but I was expecting to have this third wave at least hit that $2 range, come up to my fib levels, but it didn't happen like that. We actually had a drop to the downside. So a lot of people were saying like, well, hey, you know, you said back in 2017, this was what happened, and then, you know, this chart doesn't look anything like this. And you know what? You were 100% right. I started looking into this a little bit more, and I just saw that, you know, we did get it wrong. This is back in December. This was the last real pump of the alt season before everything collapsed and we went into a big bear market. So this thing doesn't match because we are too early. So if we come back to here, this actually looks a little bit more similar, right? We have this little drop to the downside after a pump, but that's still a little bit too early. If we actually just go back to exactly in April of what happened here, we can see that we pumped up, we came down, and we actually found support on this 20 daily exponential moving average before seeing a big rally of from 3 cents all the way up to around 40 cents. And then if you look here, you can see that it starts to look a lot more like the structure we have now, where people aren't sure, people are starting to really get their eyes on the altcoins and things. And then what happened? We started consolidating sideways for a while. We had little pumps that gave us hope. We rode the bottom of the 20 weekly exponential moving average, and it wasn't until December that we got the really, really big pump. So if we are actually back here in April, we could expect a little bit of a bearish time for April, and not until here in about a week will we actually get our next pump before our consolidation starts for the next 2 to 3 months, and then actually have another big pump, which would make sense. If Bitcoin is consolidating now, Bitcoin dominance drops in the next week or so, then we have money moving to the alts. It could be about a week or two, about the beginning of May, that we start to see the next move to the upside. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here on the charts for XRP. It is looking like it is starting to move on its own. If we look at Bitcoin against XRP, we have broken out of this channel a couple times, fallen back in, broken out, fallen back in, and now this time got out, confirmed it, got back above our moving average, and now we are getting to the point where we are setting new highs in the short term, and this is on the 4-hourly against Bitcoin. If we look at XRP against the US dollar, it is doing the same thing, but yesterday we were not above the 20-daily exponential moving average here. Now we are. A measured move of this is going to get us up to about $1.40, $1.50. If we do hit those targets, we are breaking the trend in the short term. And looking at that here on the daily, I just drew 2 lines. Not sure if these are real or not. We do know that we have support here, support here. This was resistance, and then all I did was connect it to the previous line we had. And what do you know? It intersects right here around the $1.50 range, which was where I actually bought in thinking we'd have support during the last little bull run we had. And it turns out it was support, then it turned into actually strong resistance. So I do expect us to struggle here at around the $1.34 area while we flip these EMA ribbons, and then struggle again around the $1.50. If we can get above that $1.50, we will have gotten above the little high we had here before the last pump, and then I think at that point we could potentially set another little double top, and if we can hold there, set new highs for this year. But you know, this is the area that we're going to have a lot of resistance on XRP. So I'm waiting to see if we can get more volume, more bullish sentiment, and from there actually start potentially trading it again. Here on the 4-hourly, we can see that that $1.31 area is exactly where the VPVR is having a lot of issues. We are just now getting over our simple moving average on the 4-hourly, but we are still in a bear trend on that. If we go to the hourly, and I kind of zoom out here, you can see that we are just now turning the hourly simple moving average to green or bullish. In this case, it's blue. So I want to see it build some volume right here, and then if we can hold support at the 120-ish area, 122, 125, then I may start entering some long trades for the short term on XRP. So lastly, we're going to talk about Doge, and do I think Doge is just going to skyrocket here? Well, the last time Doge had a pump, it took about 70 or so days before we started to see a move to the upside. We hit a top at around 7 cents, came up, hit it at around 8.99 cents, then consolidated. Then when we broke out of this triangle, we pumped like crazy. And you can see here that we actually did a big double top, and now we are consolidating sideways. If we were to potentially have another alt season here in about a week, we could see a breakout very, very soon. If you were listening to me on Twitch, we had a little W pattern that broke out right here, and I said that, you know, the target of this was a little measured move, just a quick thing, of around 43 cents, and it actually hit that perfectly, and then it rounded over, and now we are down riding the 20 daily, potentially using this new trend line here as support. So, you know, buying opportunities for Doge are going to be around the 24 to 25 cent area if you do believe that this is going to move to the upside. I heard that today one of the co-founders or developers did actually pass away from cancer, so I'm not sure how that's going to affect the platform as a whole, especially since there's not much development on it as it is. Most people know that I am not a long-term holder of Doge. I got lucky and bought about $500 or something like that over a year ago, and that turned out to be a very, very good buy, and I've been slowly taking profits as we go up. I think I have maybe 10 or 15,000 Doge left, and I will completely exit out of that here in the next couple of months. But I would be looking for a break above this 33 cent point and confirming it to see us potentially go all the way up to, it's crazy to even say this, but if we were to break out to this upside, we could be seeing a 65-cent DogeCoin, which would put it in the very, very high level on CoinMarketCap. But that's going to do it for this video. Sorry it's a little bit longer, but I wanted to go over why I don't think this is quite the rally everybody's hoping for. Maybe I'm wrong. I would rather be wrong than right about this one, because then we would all make more money. But I just want to show you what is on the chart, the things that I am worried about, and how things have happened in the past, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen the same way this time. So I'll catch you guys in the next